Good evening, barflies and lounge lizards, and welcome to Groovy Reviews. I'm your host, R. Sterling Gray, and tonight we're going to be talking about the Lordiversity set by the band Lordi. If you already know who Lordi is and you just kind of want to see this set, then just jump ahead to right about here. But if you're not familiar with Lordi or you're not familiar with the set, I'm going to take a second to talk about it. By the way, this will be just a review of the set itself. I haven't listened to but 3 of the albums within, but those 3 were fantastic. But what this is, well, let's jump back to who Lordi is. Basically, Lordi is a monster band, and they are a great monster band with kind of a sound based in 80s hard rock. I mean, they're all over the place, but that's kind of where their bread and butter comes from, is good 80s hard rock and metal. And they, unfortunately and very unfairly, constantly get compared to Gwar. But other than the fact that they wear costumes, they're nothing alike. Their sound, their concept, their themes, all totally different. Gwar are aliens, Lordi are monsters. Lordi's, again, their music is more kind of 80s based, and quite frankly, Lordi's costumes are way better than Gwar's. And with the exception of a few handfuls here and there, most of the Lordi stuff is fairly work safe. You can actually listen to Lordi in mixed company. So what this is, Lordiversity, is a couple years back they did an album called Collection. And Collection was a fictional greatest hits album going over as if Lordi had been around since the 70s. And they wrote these original, like fake greatest hits as if they'd been around for a long time. Well, it did so well, people dug it so much that they decided to actually go back and write the full albums that were represented on Collection. And that's what Lordiversity is it is a 7 CD box set of 7 brand new albums, all in different genres from different time periods. Each album represents what would supposedly be this fictional discography of Lordi had they been around for that long. So in and of itself is an amazing concept. Now, gotta go ahead and say, this little damage here, that's how it came. The Amazon seller sent it to me like this, so that's not actually part of it. That's just from a bad Amazon seller. Alright, so let's get started and start taking a look at this. But as you can see, it's a nice big sturdy box with this is all 7 of the brand new albums. And one of the many very cool things about this album or this box set, every album has its own book, box, liner notes, all that good stuff. And the pictures, I'll pull that in a second so you can see what I'm talking about. But the first album in the set is Sextravaganza Dinosaur, which is basically Lordi's take on early 70s rock. It's kind of got a Kiss, early Alice Cooper band kind of sound. And this is one of the few I listened to, and they did such a good job of kind of having that early 70s rock sound. And again, I apologize for the glare. But yeah, let's open her up. You got that Lordi 75 Naked Alive in the picture. So even the packaging, the artwork on these kind of look like what they were supposed to be doing. Now, I'm not going to pull out all the booklets because that would be a lot of hassle. But each booklet kind of looks like this. It has all the lyrics to the album, and they all fold out to form a poster. Even though you're only seeing half of Amanda's face here, but they all fold out to form this big poster here, and all the posters connect together to make a giant poster, a giant Lordi poster. Not that something I would ever do, but it's still a very cool concept and very novel. But yeah, Sextravaganza Dinosaur. That's one great thing about, that's all crooked. One great thing about this album is that it kind of has offers a little something for everybody. All kinds of rock taste are represented on this one. And yeah, you're looking to pay about $90 to $100 for it, but it's 7 full-length brand new albums in one package, so it's actually quite the good deal. Next. Okay, so the next album in the set is Super Fly Trap, and this is their 70s disco style album. Well, you can actually kind of tell by the cover that, they did such a good job of making it look like a disco album. And I listened to this one as well, and it is fantastic. All being a disco fan aside, just kind of the Lordi monster lyrics set to disco music, oh man, it is so cool. Well, that's a great looking back cover too. I mean, yeah, the song Macho Freak, go YouTube that. You will be in for a treat. And you have, again, more liner notesy stuff, giving it that just great 70s disco kind of vibe. And then the next in the set, and this is Master Beast from the Moon. And this one I have not listened to yet, but it is supposedly, or it is supposed to be, Lordi's take on prog rock, Rush, and bands of that nature. I'm actually quite looking forward to hearing that, and from what I understand, this one is a concept album as well. There's not a concept that runs throughout all the albums, but just this particular one, Master Beast from the Moon, is the concept album. And I'm a sucker for some concept albums. But yeah, again, as I was saying, look how well it just imitates the look of the time period in those kind of albums. And obviously there's that guy. I mean, what would an album be without an Ovian from Battlestar Galactica there looking back at you? Oh yeah, like there, look, story synopsis. So yeah, very cool stuff. And now the fourth album in the set. And this is another one I've listened to, and I was blown away by how good this one is. This is the Amusement Park album, and it is in the style of, say, Wasp or Motley Crue, or there's even some stuff I heard that reminded me of Rat, that sort of thing, just with that Lordi style. It's interesting because even though these albums are all these different styles, they're still distinctly Lordi, and Mr. Lordi's very distinctive voice is just present and really just brings it all together. But not only is this a fantastic freaking album, I love this cover. If you can tell, it's them on a pinball machine. I mean, I think 84 is supposed to be the date in which this album came out in the story. Yeah, it is top. I mean, this is a 80s metal lover's dream. And I love this one too. This kind of parody of the Twisted Sister Stay Hungry, Leave Full. And then this band photo. I mean, look at that. That's a good looking group right there. Look at Eamon doing his thing. And if I had to pick a favorite member, it would probably be Eamon. I mean, I like them all. Their new bass player, Hisi, the dragon-y troll guy, very cool. But yeah, I'm a sucker for Eamon. But yeah, this is a great album. I highly, highly recommend this. Doug from Disheveled by Dawn, Trent, Several John. If you fellas are watching this, you would love this album. And then next we have Humanimals, which I have not listened to yet, but it sounds like it's going to be another really good one. And this one's later 80s style, the AOR, or album-oriented rock. I just found out what that meant recently. People have been throwing around that AOR for years, and it's like, I'm going to look that up finally. But yeah, album-oriented rock. Supposedly in the vein of, like, say, Bon Jovi, or the late 80s Alice Cooper, the kind of trashier Alice. But yeah, I am very much looking forward to this. Kiss, I would say the later kind of Lick It Up era type Kiss. The main video single off this set, Borderline, is from this one. And if you want to get a good example of what this album is going to sound like, or what I imagine this album is going to sound like, go watch the video for Borderline. And that's actually a full music video that is very cool. Look at the inside. Oh man, I mean, I don't really wear t-shirts very often, but I mean, so much of this stuff I would love to just have on a t-shirt. I mean, that right there, that would be a very cool t-shirt. This is Abracadabra, which is Lordi's take on, I'm sorry about that glare, on the 90s thrash and heavy type stuff like Anthrax and Pantera and things of that nature. And one of the other singles from the box set, one of the videos, Abracadabra itself, is a great kind of parody of the Headbangers Ball opening from that time period. So yeah, if you're into the heavier stuff, this should be the album to check out. Yeah, look at that. That's so 90s. I mean, again, they did such a good job with the art design in this. I mean, it really looks like, what it's supposed to be. And as I said, I've not listened to this one yet, but I have heard the single, of course, because it's a music video. And yeah, good stuff. And then the final album in the set is the spooky Sextravaganza Spectacular. From what I understand, it has a real Rob Zombie sound. And even though I don't like industrial rock and industrial metal, I love me some Rob Zombie. I think this one's going to be really good. And just from that title, it does kind of feel like kind of a Rob Zombie title. And again, Lordi is such a good band. I mean, they're one of those few bands that they don't have a dud track for me. Like every song, every album, everything is solid. So I have no doubt that this will be solid too. I mean, look at that. This is the first time I've looked at most of these too, so I'm seeing this for the first time as well. But yeah, I mean, that is totally like a Rob Zombie. Oh man, that would make such a cool t-shirt or something, poster. Yeah, that's their keyboardist, Hella, who is the Scarby doll. Yeah, just great stuff. And you want to talk about a band that deserves and needs some action figures? If anyone's watching this that makes action figures, or can make that so, we need some Lordi action figures, because I really need an Eamon action figure. But yeah, so that is the Lordiversity set, and it is extremely, extremely groovy, and I highly recommend not only this set, but Lordi in general. Yeah, check it out. As I said, it will run you about $96 for 7 albums. Highly worth it. And that's all the time we have for this week. Please like, comment, subscribe, and keep it wacky.
Wow.